31st of December today here in Australia, and it's day 21 of showing up with you for the businesswoman who creates time. Today's a great day, being New Year's Eve, to try one of my favorite all-time prosperity hacks. And I'm sharing this with you as I'm also sharing this on my Instagram account. So if you aren't following me there, come and have a look. It's at the real Rachael Evans, Rachael with two A's. And the reason it's a favorite prosperity hack is because there's a couple of elements to it that feel incredibly satisfying. It's free to do. You don't need to hire a coach for this. You don't need to leave the home. You might even make a little bit of money out of it, depending on how you feel. And it also just makes you feel like you've done something that is good for you, good for them, good for us. It's good for everyone. So let me explain. I am really, really good at sharing business strategy and helping business owners, both men and women, but I'm here with you, talking to you as a businesswoman. I can identify gaps. I intuitively know what strategy, tactic, action to apply, and I help you close the gap. And that helps your business be more successful in whatever area we're working on, no matter what niche you're in. And then you get to enjoy life just that little bit more because of it. Very strategy focused brain. And I created businesses using this strategy to enormous success, and I still do. But something that I've learned in my last few years is that pulling back from the hustle because we don't want to be in burnout means there's something else available to us when we actually slow down enough to recognize that there's another force at play that's just always been quietly whispering to us that there's easier ways. And the concept of prosperity came into my life full force about 18 months ago. And for those who aren't familiar with the term, prosperity and prosperity writing and the people who first shared it were the predecessors of the self-help era. So the people before Wayne Dyer, the people before Louise Hay. And so this stuff comes from the late 1800s, early 1900s, and there's actually still a lady alive today who's 98, I think. Her name is Catherine Ponder, and she wrote The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity if you want a good read over this New Year's period. But one of the things that they talk about over and over again in their prosperity writing, which is usually taking lead from the Bible. And before you freak out, I am not religious, I'm spiritual. I recognize Jesus was a real man and he was here to share what he knew. And the teachings of the Bible, the way that I look at it and the way that prosperity writers look at it, are to teach us prosperity. And we can use affirmation from there, from Jesus and from God to amplify our lives. And one of the things that they talk about is that the universe loves a vacuum. And by that, I mean a space that it can fill with riches. Now, often our homes are cluttered in this modern age with things that we don't use, we don't love anymore, that are broken, damaged. And our wardrobes, particularly as women, are a place where stagnant energy lives. And when I say stagnant energy, what I mean is energy gets stuck in there, much like we can feel stuck in our business when things don't seem to be flowing. That's what's happening in our wardrobe when it's overcrowded, when it's full of clothes, shoes, accessories that we haven't worn in years. It might be the things that we think we're going to get back into if we lose a few kilos or a few pounds. It might be things that were special to us once, but we actually haven't even laid eyes on them for 5 years. Dust collects in there, dust bunnies in the corners, and there's no vacuum in there for the universe to start to do its magic and deliver us new riches. Now, I'm not talking about if you clean out your wardrobe today, on New Year's Day, you'll wake up and discover that there's $1 million sitting in your wardrobe. But what I am talking about is creating space and feeling into the trust that better things are coming. That's why December 31 is actually a perfect time to do this, because we're about to leave our 2025 behind and move into 2026. So today is the day that I always recommend to my clients. If there's only one day of the year that you would consider doing this, today is it, because we close the portal on 2025 today. So how you do this, walk into your wardrobe, you actually pull every single clothing item out. So if you've got dresser drawers, you pull everything out of those as well. Just do one drawer at a time. If you pull absolutely everything out all at once, you are going to be overwhelmed by the clothes mountain that you have just created. But if you'd prefer to do it that way, go for it. For me, I actually do this twice a year. And it works every single time. You pull out the section that you're working on. You must touch every item of clothes. You must eyeball every single thing. And you've got to be brutal. Have I worn this in the last 12 months? No. Why not? I'm not feeling it. It never fit properly in the first place. If it's in good condition and can be donated, goes in the donate pile. You may want to start a pile where you attempt to sell your clothes on Facebook Marketplace or something like that. There is nothing wrong energetically with that. So you'll have a donate pile, perhaps a sell pile, and then there's a needs to go in the rubbish pile, because it won't be good to pass on to somebody else. And then there's the pile of I'm keeping that. I love it, brings me joy. So there's a bit of Mary Kondo in here as well. And I am still wearing that. It's in the rotation, or I plan to wear that next season. So if it's winter in the Northern Hemisphere and you know you're wearing that in summer, you would obviously keep that. Vice versa, here in Australia, it's summer, it's hot. We're not wearing our winter clothes right now, but you've got to think ahead, and like, we're not throwing out all of our winter clothes because we haven't worn them for the last few months. That's why we do this twice a year if we can, in alternate or opposing seasons, so that you do have the chance to recognize what you're wearing in the season and what you're not. So if it's going back in the wardrobe, you pop it back in, you give that section a little dust and whatever else, and then you move on to the next section. And if you haven't done this for a while, or like ever, you are going to have a rather large pile of clothes that aren't going back into your wardrobe or into your drawers. And that is amazing, because that's what helps create a vacuum so the universe can come and do its work. There's a huge amount of faith in this, and that is the whole part about trusting that there are other forces at play here. And when I first came across this, I was as skeptical as you are right now, but I've done it like 6 times now. And you not only get to have fun playing with your really good clothes, like your ball gowns, which you'll see if you head over to my Instagram page and look at my post from today. I'm standing in my wardrobe in one of my ball gowns as I as I do this prosperity cleanup. And you can also feel into and embody the richness and the quality of the clothes that you do have. And it's a great time for you to assess, do these clothes even represent how I want to feel? If you're coming out of a period, or you're in right now a period of time where you've got young kids and your wardrobe's kind of turned more from, a bit glam to everyday, a bit dowdy, and that's not what you want, great opportunity to realize that and see that your clothes aren't actually a true reflection of how you want to dress every day. Now, this isn't licensed for you to go and spend a ton of money on a credit card to replenish your wardrobe. That's not it at all. What you're doing is leaving room for beautiful things to come into your view over time that you fall in love with, and then little bit by little bit watch as beautiful things appear in your wardrobe. And it can also, the riches that are delivered to you can also appear in other forms that you weren't expecting. So don't think the universe is just going to replenish my wardrobe with stunning designer clothes. It's not a like for like situation. If you use this same principle and move throughout your home and do a prosperity clean, so after you've finished yours, you might get inspired to go and do it in the kids' wardrobes as well, where they're often storing paper and old school books, and, keep the artworks and things that you want to as mementos, but massive clear out, and do the same with their clothes. Again, donate, sell if you want to, or go in the rubbish bin, and only the good stuff that actually fits them or that they're going to grow into goes back in the wardrobe. Really important that you do it in your office as well if you have a home office. So I'm obviously in my home office right now, and my office prosperity cleanup is on the list today in here as well, because we want to close the door on 2025 and we want to welcome in the prosperous energy of 2026. There was an original prosperity writer called Florence Scovel Shinn, and she was American at the early 1900s. And one of her books, she uses the phrase, I'm digging ditches for my riches. You can think of these prosperity cleanouts as digging the space for more goodness from the universe to come in. The universe can't provide you with the goodness that you're attempting to manifest, or that you're saying affirmations for, or that you're wishing for or praying for, if your workspace and your home are cluttered. Look inside your handbag as well. Is it a schmozzle? Because that's what your brain will be like if it is, and your business will probably show similar results. Everything is connected. So this is one of the biggest pieces of woo that I talk about. Everything else, as I said, is usually business strategy, but it's one of the things that felt immediately so good to embrace, which is why I wanted to share it with you today. So whatever day in the year you come across this video, give this a go, and then just get in the habit of December 31 and June 30, do your prosperity clean out. Make sure that you're leaving room for the universe to fill your ditches with riches. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. It's new too, and like this video so that it goes far and wide. See you tomorrow for day 22 of The Businesswoman Who Creates Time.